Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. I've been looking forward to this day for a while. Look who's back with me, my dear, 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 amazing friend, the one and only Kendra Davies with Stellar Life Coaching. We had a little show back in the day. It was actually a big show. We did great things. I feel like together, talked
Yeah.
through a whole bunch of stuff, got raw, got emotional, got real, transparent, authentic, all those good buzzwords. And so we've been talking about bringing something back. And Kendra, of course, she's so in tune with everything. She came up with the title "Live Your Fucking Life." Welcome back, Kendra Davies. How you doing?
Hello. It's so good to be back. It's so good to be back with you and the world of the TED Show. Thank you for having me back. And I'm so pumped to talk about how to live your fucking life.
Yes, I love that. And
hmm
you've done tremendous things. You did them before, but let's talk about the tremendous things you've done and give the audience like a little 411 on you for those people who
Yeah,
may not have tuned in to the last series.
sure. So, my name is Kendra Davies. I'm a positive psychology practitioner. I own a business called Stellar Life Coaching here in Orlando, Florida. And I am actually coming up on my 10-year anniversary in February with my
Woo!
business. Yeah, going strong and doing well. I'm a co author of the book Women Gone Wild, A Feminine Guide to Fearless Living. I host workshops, international retreats, and I work with clients one on one. And I'm just really passionate about supporting people and learning how to live their best life, their best, most authentic life. So that's my passion. That's what I believe I'm put on the earth to do. And I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to support you through
Well,
this
thank
show.
you. And you always do. And we had some amazing, amazing conversations always, I
Mm,
feel like every time. Most of the time would be up, and I'd be like, damn, that went fast.
hmm
Exactly. But I feel like your insights, your ability to tap into that is what resonates with people, and certainly resonated with the audience and me
Yeah.
too. I feel like you're able, and that's part of being an amazing life coach, positivity coach, is you're able to draw that out of people
Yeah.
by shining a light on it, but also coming from the heart and talking about things. So kudos to
Yeah.
you. Congratulations on the
Thank
book.
you.
Congratulations on all the success. Congratulations on the magazine covers. I swear to God, you were everywhere.
I was
And
trying, boo. I was trying. Okay.
you did such a good job. Great job. But I
Thank
love
you.
this. When you came up with the title for our new series, I thought, oh my God, yes, because that's what we all sort of
Yeah.
preach. Gotta,
hmm
gotta live your life, gotta live your best life. But I think a
Yeah.
lot of people don't. Actually, a
No.
lot of people don't. They don't know how to. They
hmm
want to, but they're stuck in that rut and they don't have the tools or the resources or the wherewithal or the
Yeah.
confidence, all those things to really begin living their fucking life. Live it.
That's it.
So let's talk about that. Why did you come up with the
Yeah.
title? What was on your mind when we were brainstorming about, and kind of what's your vision?
So it's kind of like exactly what you said. I think that it's like a buzzword now, like to live your best life, hashtag best life. And I feel like we think it's brunches and this superficial version of getting to travel and stuff like that, which is all great. And it is a part of it. But I think that living your fucking life is about learning how to deal with that inner game. Who are you? What do you want? Are you actually behaving in your values? Are you living the life that you want? Are you settling? Are you compromising? Are you really successful at work and then your relationships are shit, right? Are you super gung ho and easy to make money or have very successful relationships, but then you struggle in your business because you don't know how to set boundaries or you don't know how to manage your time or you don't have that ability to say no? These things all matter. And it's not taught in school. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
these are like we move through life and then we find ourselves stuck and we learn. And I think that as a coach, with a coach, therapist, clergyman, like whatever, wherever you get your source to fill up your tank, to learn your lessons, to like integrate the lessons that you're getting from your life. I think it goes a long way. And anything other than that, like if you're not accountable, if you're not responsible, if you're not honest, and if you don't feel good being you in your body every day, then I think that there's work to be done. And no matter how many brunches and how many trips you go on, I don't believe you're living your best fucking life if that's the case.
I agree. So much to unpack there. And I love it. The first thing that resonated with me immediately was about settling and compromising.
Mm,
And I just came out of how do we want to word this? A long-term relationship, not personal,
hmm.
where I felt like I was in that relationship and it was just not good for me, but I continued to allow it to happen. And I feel
Mm,
like a lot of us do that. We know we're not where we should be. We
hmm.
know that this relationship, whether it be business or personal, is not the right one for us, but we don't
Hmm.
know how to get out there and do it. So, like you mentioned, we post about getting our hair done, our nails done, we're traveling.
Hmm.
Here's my spa day, here's my self care day, also one of my favorites. And yet, there really is none of that going on. It's all superficial, like
Yeah.
you said. And I think one thing I had to do was really dig deep and go, I can't do this anymore. Why am I
Yeah.
allowing it to happen? But then I think a
Hmm.
lot of us do that. So let's talk about some tools for people because I think a lot of people are
Yeah.
struggling with that. It's why we saw the great resignation. It's
Mm,
why we are still having trouble people going back to work, not wanting to accept things. I
hmm.
still think there's so many people that don't have the tools or the resources or the wherewithal to figure out how to break that.
Yeah. Well, I think when it comes in terms of settling, to me, I find that it's often about my limiting beliefs. Like I'm more inclined to settle if I don't believe I'm lovable, if I don't believe I'm deserving, if I am, because I'm a giver and a giver. And we talked about this before, like I'm an unhealthy giver. So what tends to happen is I will use my empathy muscle and my compassion muscles, which are really, really strong. And I will say, oh, well, I know why you're doing it. I know why you're saying this. I know why you're behaving this way. I know why you're always late. I know why you don't call me when you say you do. It's your childhood and it was this. And I'll make the excuses, which are valid, but they're not reasonable excuses for how you mistreat me.
It's true.
Does that make sense? So
Yes.
we will explain why somebody is doing it. And then what we do is we choose making them comfortable over asking to be treated the way we feel we should be.
Yes. Yes.
And that that is a fundamental belief that what you want, what you need, what you deserve is not as important as what you think somebody else might want, need, or expect. And
I,
that is that disconnect.
it's such a disconnect. I think and of course, I'm talking personal space because it's
Yeah, yeah.
me. But I think a lot of people this applies to. I'm a rescuer, and so I will
Mm,
choose to rescue someone over what I know I deserve as a human being in a relationship, and allow that to perpetuate because I'm in
yeah,
constant rescue mode. Well,
yeah.
they had a rough this, they had a rough that. Well,
Hmm.
so did most of us. I don't know a whole bunch of
Yeah.
people who came
So
out.
did you.
So did I. So, but because I'm in rescue mode, which was a survival skill that I learned as an
Hmm.
abused child. I think that you just that's going to be your solace. For some reason, I want to do that. I want to fix it. I want to rescue, and then I let everything else go. I don't.
Hmm.
I'm better. I'm learning, but
Yeah.
I'm constantly learning. But I feel like a lot of people do that. They
Hmm.
will put the needs of others before them. And I'm not trying to say that you should not at some time
Sure.
allow but when you're talking about a relationship that's impacting you, some behavior or limiting belief that is impacting you in a negative way, and you allow it to go on, that's
Hmm.
what I had to face. I had to realize I'm in charge of this. I need to get out of
100%.
it.
Hmm.
And I'm going to tell you that was one of the hardest things I've done in the past 5 to 10 years to actually do is to break that. And I think that's what
Yeah.
a lot of people feel.
Well, and I feel like, especially for trauma survivors, we often feel like when we get to the other side of that mountain, there is a deep desire to go back and help others through.
Yes.
And I think that it's with anything else, it has to be in balance. And I know for me, I have to, as a coach, there's a difference between asking me to have coffee with you as my friend and then asking me to have coffee with you because you want me to give you free life coaching, right? And it is because this is who I am. Like if you ask anybody in my life, this is really who the fuck I am. Like if we did have coffee, I mean, that's probably going to be what happens. But like it would be balanced. With a friend, I can share my feelings, my experiences. They don't have unrealistic expectations. I'm not on some pedestal. You know what I mean? I can still be a human being. But when somebody is actually approaching me under the guise of a personal relationship, but really they're just looking to get my insights or for me to support them in that way, what I find is that my natural instinct is to just do it, right? I get that little tinge of disappointment, like, oh, I thought this person wanted to be friends or wanted to have like a more personal relationship, but they just want my services.
Yeah.
So I have that tinge of disappointment, but my natural instinct is to want to support them. But learning that I'm allowed to have boundaries. I'm allowed to respect my time. And if you got me to Starbucks under the guise of having coffee with me as friends and you bamboozle me into trying to get you into services, I'm allowed to say, hey, this isn't usually how I do this. If you wanted coaching, there's a whole process. Like you can submit an inquiry on my website. I can get you scheduled on my calendar. I didn't have the expectation that that's what this was going to be. Saying stuff like that. Like I've shared this story with other people and they're like, that makes my skin crawl. The idea of having to say that to somebody, of saying no, of setting that boundary, of being rude.
I'll be honest, my bunghole clenched a little bit when you were talking
dude,
about
it. This is what I'm saying. We get so uncomfortable when it comes down to saying what we actually think and feel. But just because you don't say it doesn't mean it doesn't impact. You know what I could have done? I could have given them my services for free, gone home, secretly resented them, unfollowed them, and then just pretended like they didn't exist. I could have done that.
Right.
But who wins? Who learns anything?
No one.
Did I compromise? Did I settle? Absolutely. And if you want to feel different, we have to do different. You know what I mean? If we want to feel different, we must do different. And sometimes that different is being willing to say, no.
Now,
not acceptable.
I have to ask, because you said you've been bamboozled before. Why is it that we don't, like, I should have known better in the relationship I got out of. I just feel like, I think that's where we go sometimes. God, I should have known better. Or why didn't I see that coming? Or why did I allow that to happen for so long? Why was I bamboozled? Such a great word. Because afterward, after you come past it, you realize, God, dog it, the signs were all there. Why did I have blinders on? I know better. And then you spend time beating yourself up for not knowing better.
Yeah. Well, I think that it comes down to, at the end of the day, especially in the kinds of relationships you're talking about, we do get something out of it. It wasn't nothing for Ted the entire time. Even if that feeling was, and I'm not calling you out, I'm saying it's possible. Even if it was, you felt good about yourself because you were helping somebody that you identified with your past.
100.
Even if that's all that you got, even if it was just I've had people that I could see myself in them so clearly. And I said, I'm going to fucking believe in these people, no matter how much they deserve it or not. I'm going to show up, even if I don't like them, even if it's whatever. Like, I've made those kinds of decisions to show up for people. And I think that it's admirable. I do believe that there is a line, just like with everything in life. When we do it with balance, then it's all right. But when we start compromising our own values, when we start behaving outside of our values, when we start taking time from our kids and our families to try to support people over and over and over again, they're not supporting themselves. They're not learning the lessons. They're not integrating over time. And I do believe that the line gets crossed and it goes from, I felt good because I felt like I was helping. And then I felt like shit because I was really just enabling.
Yes. Amen to that. Amen. Because I think that when you are in that mode, I love what you said earlier. You want to, when you've come through as with trauma, you said trauma survivor,
Yeah.
when you come through, you do want to go back and help other
Yeah.
people through, good, bad, or indifferent. And sometimes we get so caught up in the mission of that we are not, we have the blinders on, which is what I had. And
Yeah.
you're right though. I love that you said that, because of course I got something out of that relationship. Nothing is ever, for me, nothing has ever been, well, I don't think it ever could be. I learn from everything. Even when I make the same damn mistake 400 times in a row, I still I still learn something out of it. But I think it's one thing to get past that. But once you're on the other side, you may breathe a sigh of relief. But I think for me personally, I was like, shit, I forgot now how to live my best fucking life. What am I going to do? So how can we get to well, once we're on the other side? I don't know why I'm having this vision of the mountain and in the end, the Sound of Music, and they finally get over. They're finally free. But you don't know what to do. You get paralyzed by the analysis paralysis. You get, shit. Okay, I'm so focused on not doing the same shit again that maybe I'm definitely not living my best life. I don't even know fucking how to do it.
Yeah. Well, I think a blanket place to start, if you are just hearing this and you're like, oh shit, this resonates with me, the first thing I would ask you to do is take out a piece of paper, open the notes app on your phone, and ask yourself, how do you want to feel? Not how do you not want to feel? How do you want to feel? Do you want to feel joy? Do you want to feel peace? Do you want to feel liberated? Do you want to feel freedom? Do you want to feel light? What do you want to feel? And then next to every single emotion that you want to feel, write down ways that you've felt it in the past. Write down ways that you think you might be able to feel it in the future. And then do those fucking things. Like, that is as simple as it can be. And I can tell you, gratitude is an emotion that if you latch onto, it's going to have really transformative impact on you immediately. Like, if it becomes a practice that you genuinely commit yourself to, gratitude begets positivity. It's something that grows. But that's just a starting point. The reasons that we did the things that we did matter, because the same person in a different body with a different name is going to show up in your life, and you are going to have to make the conscious choice to behave differently in order to feel differently, to not do the same thing again. You have to understand. So awareness is key. And most of the time, awareness needs to happen with somebody. If it's a coach, a therapist, somebody in your church community, I would step away from your best friends and your family. It's really hard to get unbiased feedback from people who have known you forever. So take that step and really start to build your self-awareness. Also, check what you're consuming in content, right? If you're listening to murder mysteries and you're watching serial killer documentaries, and you are inundated with a constant state of news and negative, heavy content in between, do not fool yourself that consumes your energy, that takes from you. So be conscientious about what you're consuming. Focus on podcasts around spirituality, doing good, positivity. And this is not to say I want you to have false positivity. I want you to shift your perspective away from serial killers to people who are changing the world through their actions. Because at the end of the day, you want to feel like that. You don't want to feel the way you feel when you watch serial killer documentaries. That's on the list of shit that you wrote down that you wanted to feel. That ain't on it.
It's
so shift your attention towards the things you want.
When you said that, of course, I'm guilty of that. Snapped is one of my favorite shows on the planet. So yeah, well, I think we all dive
the worst.
I want to go back to gratitude a little bit. Feeling when I got over the mountain in the Sound of Music, I remember feeling that I needed to be grateful. But I tell you how I started out. I'm so fucking grateful I'm not in that relationship anymore, which probably, I don't know if that's the most positive spin on thing, but that was the most I could say at that moment. And I feel like we need to give our permissions. It's still expressing a gratitude, maybe not in the exact way that we want to attract. But sometimes that is what you're grateful for, especially in the beginning. God, I'm not fucking in that anymore. God, I don't have to deal with that anymore. Thank you for that.
Yeah. And also, I remember I had a mentor once talking about forgiveness, and I was on a spiritual journey. So she was like, pray for the people that you're trying to forgive. Like, you don't have to forgive them, but just pray for them. Pray for them to have good fortune. Pray for them to have good health. And if you can't do any of that, pray for them to not get hit by a bus. You know, like, like what matters is that we show up to the party. And I don't believe, if there's anything out there in the universe, I don't believe that they are so petty that they're like, wow, Ted, you're just grateful to be out. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't believe that the universe, this all-knowing source of life and love, is a petty mean girl from middle school, you know? So get in where you fit in, find the sweet spot for you. I would just say be mindful of not. I'm grateful I'm not in. I'm grateful I'm free. I'm grateful I can make different choices. I'm grateful I don't feel afraid of what this person is going to say or do every day. Like, shift it out, because the brain doesn't catch the not, right?
Correct.
So we have to be mindful about the language that we choose. But other than that, I don't care how you get there. Gratitude is gratitude. And if
Gratitude
you're just starting off, let's go.
So I'm thankful that the bus didn't kill them. It only broke their leg. I don't know. I'm just, you're in that mindset and you have to work on it. You have to, when you said pray for the people that that you need to forgive, I have to, that has a lot of purpose. There's biblical on that. There's universe. There's law of attraction. I mean, all of that is, that is a rule. And man, that is not the easiest thing to do sometimes when you have scars from just getting out of there and over the mountain. So,
but I tell you what, there's a significant impact when we shift, like at the end of the day, even this person that you got out of this relationship with, at the end of the day, we still want them to be well. We do not want them to experience misfortune. We do not want them to get hurt. We do not want those things for them. They still deserve, because they breathe and they are human, they deserve the dignity of their own experience. And sometimes when my feelings are really hurt, or if I feel truly betrayed, sometimes I just have to remember, I always want them to have the dignity of their own experience. No matter how misunderstood I might be, no matter how wrong they may perceive me to be, that is the thing that I try to call into the forefront of my mind. And then I can let them go in peace. And then I'm not ruminating and building resentment and like harboring that negative energy that zaps me much faster than choosing to be in my values, which is, I believe that people have the dignity of their own experience.
So I'm going to have that tattooed somewhere. Because I'm a work in progress on that. But I like how you framed that. There's another one that one of my friends came off this. It's like that. It's like, I'm so happy for this journey that you're on, or the dignity of your own experience. And in the beginning, you say it with a little sarcasm. I'm not going to lie. Sure. When I thought it, I thought, yeah, whatever. But I understand what you're saying. And it does make such a difference when you can bless and release on that. And because it's only hurting you, it's only bringing me down. If I continue to focus on what I didn't get from that relationship or what that person did to me, then I'm basically sort of still in that relationship and not letting go.
100%.
And so that's like, I always joke, if I say the name 3 times, it's like Bloody Mary, right? They're going to appear. So I try very hard not to speak that, because I know I'm just bringing it back. I'm bringing all of that energy back. And no matter how evolved I might think I am, I'm still right back in that. And I'm allowing that toxicity to travel with me.
Yeah.
All right. 100%. So as we wrap up, tell them, obviously, all of the beautiful things that you say and do. You are a life coach, a positivity coach. I am. So tell them the best way that they can reach out to you, get a consult, learn a real one, people. A consult, how they can learn more about you and what you do.
So if you want to, you can go to my Stellar Life Coaching. My phone number here. You can tell me at stellarcoaching.com. We are going to Bali next year for the Phoenix retreat. So it is a bucket list trip. We're going to be staying at the Gaia Retreat Center. It is next level wonderful. And I'm also starting a new monthly event that's open to the public called this monthly self-care reset. And every month we are going to be talking about a different self-care topic and actually practice a different self-care practice. So this month we're doing prayer, meditation, and spirituality. No matter around your affiliation or beliefs, this is non-denominational. I personally do not subscribe to anything, but it is a matter of learning to and embracing being a part of something greater than ourselves. That's what it is at the end of the day. So hopefully you can join me next month. We're doing body awareness and hormone balancing as part of self-care, recognizing that this is for men and women. So I hope you can join us, and you can find that information on Facebook at Stellar Life Coaching.
Woo! Oh my God, thank you so much. We're back. That was absolutely amazing.
We did it.
Now I have a few of my demons I have to deal with when we're done, but I will be a work in progress. So you all, we are back every week. If you have a topic that you want to talk about, please reach out to me or Kendra. If you do not have a life coach, positivity coach, I can't recommend her enough. And I want you to schedule a consult. And I want you to learn if this is the right path for you. But if you're even thinking about it, I guarantee you, Kendra is got that spirit, that heart and soul just as much here as in person. And she cares about you before you even know it. So I love you, Kendra Davies. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week. We want you in between to live your fucking life.
Amen.
All right, guys. We'll see you soon.